Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Soro. I'm a dog trainer, and in this live video, we're going to talk about keeping your dog engaged and excited with enrichment activities. Plus, I'm going to answer your dog related questions. So stay tuned and let's have fun.
If you want to learn the negative effects of treat training, which causes your dog to develop bad behaviors and health issues, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified about our next video.
All right, I think everything is set and ready to go. So I have a poll on the in the chat area that I'm asking: do you play with your dog on daily basis? Just a simple answer of yes or no would be great. We're going to talk about some activities, or I would prefer to say one activity that you can do to keep your dog engaged and excited with activities that not only is beneficial, it's healthy, it's good for you, it's good for your dog. Before we get started, if you're new here, my name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. I emphasize on coaching dog owners. What that means is I not only train dogs, but I help dog owners to become an educated dog lover. And the way I do it is a little bit different and unique than other dog trainers, I would say. We use, instead of food, treats, aversive tools, aversive methods, force or domination, instead we use play and praise to reward dogs. And play and praise is very, I would say, beneficial, very healthy, very natural, and very effective way of using as a reward. We'll talk about all those. And if you have any questions, let me bring the banner up. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat area. I'll be happy to answer your dog related questions. It's a nice sunny day over here where I am. In the west coast of Canada, British Columbia. Let me know in the chat area, where are you watching this live session. Let me know how you're doing, the dogs, how dogs are doing. If you have any questions, how the dogs are behaving. I've changed the studio look a little bit. This is Annie's crate. She's not in it at the moment. She's out there doing something. And that's Jonah's shrine. We have his shrine there. And Jonah was my first beagle who passed away a few years ago. So we have his memory with us forever and ever. I have Harvey over here and Annie in the middle. Getting used to the new format of the studio. So let's talk about dogs and what kind of engagement and you can do in daily basis to enrich your dog's health, behavior, and everything that you're doing with your dog. If you are familiar with me, welcome back. If you know me, welcome back. Thank you for being here. You know that I'm more of a dog trainer who focuses on, cheers, by the way, I'm drinking tea today. What is your choice of drink for the day? Let me know in the chat area as well. As you know, I suggest dog owners to play and have fun with their dogs, and meanwhile to train their dogs. This is a concept I think many dog owners are having a hard time maybe getting used to it, because it's not a common advice. How do you train the dog as you're playing with the dog? So I want to give you some ideas that you can start working on, that you can start implementing those in your daily life, and maybe get a good sense of not only my idea, but you also get a good let me see, is the vote, is the poll, is the poll going on? If the poll is not going on, I think I'm gonna put a new one. Let me see. Let me see. Start a poll. Uh, do you play with your dog? Just give me a minute. Let me just do this. So the poll should be in the chat area now. I think I put the poll before the live session started, and that's why it wasn't showing. But I think now it should be showing. So the question is, do you play with your dog every day? So the reason I asked this question is because when you start playing with your dog, even if you, I'll talk about, if your dog is not playful dog, what do you do? But let's first uh, talk about dogs who are playful. So when you play with your dog every day, there are so many benefits that are happening at the time of play and after the game, and after the play. So some of the benefits during the play is that your dog becomes more, obviously, physically active, um, and it starts thinking that, wow, this is fun. This is I'm having a good time, and I'm enjoying this activity, and this is good. I'm having fun, and I'm interacting with my human, and everything is good. So that's one of the reasons that I like to play with my dog, because it allows my dog to um, have fun every day. So if your dog is, let's say there's a question, I think, there was a question or something. What if you play but not every day? I suggest to play with your dog every day, because it gives you that opportunity to physically be involved with your dog. Physically, emotionally, mentally, be involved with your dog. And what I mean by that is, it makes your dog to be physically active as you are, and it's healthy for both of us, both for the dogs and for me. And if I play every day with my dog, it brings happiness and joy to my dog. So you have to figure out, first of all, what game your dog is really happy to play. Find out that game and play with your dog every day. We have Monique uh, from New York City. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us from New York City. I hope everything is good over there. Thank you for being here, Monique. Yeah, let me know where you're watching the live session from. So, first of all, when we play with our dogs every day, we physically are stimulating ourselves and the dog. The dog gets physical stimulation. As you can see, for example, there, me and my dog, we're outside. I'm getting nice and vitamin D. My dog is getting vitamin D, and meanwhile, she's having a good time. I'm moving, she's moving, she's having more fun than I do. So That's number one. Number one activity that you should do with your dog is actually going out and playing with your dog. That's very engaging, and it allows your dog to be excited, and it's a form of enrichment that helps your dog to get healthy. So I highly suggest you to put that play session in your daily schedule. You don't have to think about anything else. Maybe just play with your dog, and find out what your dog's favorite game is. Find out if it's fetch, find out if it's running around, find out if it's hide and seek, find out if it's tug of war, whatever game it is. Just figure out to know and find out what is the favorite game of your dog. So my next question is, let me see if I can do that. My next mm, so let me so so 83% said yes, they play with their dog every day, which is great, right? I want to see if I can put another poll. Maybe I'll do a Q&A. Do you know your dog's favorite game? I'm just gonna put it as fave game. Do you know your dog's favorite game? Monique says everything is good here. Just a little chilly today, but still nice day. Yes, today in here it's nice and warm. It was chilly until a day or two ago, but it's starting to warm up a little bit on the west coast. I have a stubborn beagle. Yes, I understand. That's a very common common issue that dog owners have, which I think I'll talk about it. Oh, I see that you have a question actually. How do you approach training for stubborn or difficult dogs? Okay. Uh, yes, that's a good question. Now, how do you get a dog who's not playful, or as Monique says, it's stubborn? How do you get it uh, to play? So I think my answer to that would be few parts. Part one is the characteristics that we put on our dog, which is we call them stubborn. Um, Kim Jacobs, I'm going to answer your question in a moment. Just hang on there. I'll be answering this question quickly and then get to your question. First of all, stubbornness in a dog is a human trait that we put on a dog. Dogs are not stubborn. They don't have that capacity or that acknowledgement as humans do. Um, Humans are animals too, but we are a little bit more advanced than dogs, right? And dogs and animals in general, they don't have many of the human characteristics that we have, that humans have. Dogs, they don't have it, and one of them is stubbornness. Stubbornness is not a, a I would say a trait that is in dogs. The reason for that is because I don't think dogs can think that way. They are more wanting to please humans. And if they have a hard time to please humans, then they don't function properly. So let me clarify what I mean by that. If as a human being you're trying to communicate to your dog and you're not able to communicate clearly to your dog says, you know what, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't get it. So therefore because they don't get it, therefore you don't get the results that you want. And therefore you label your beagle stubborn. Am I making sense? And this is, this is coming from a human who's a dog lover, beagle lover, who's a dog trainer, who's a person who has feelings and emotion just like any other human, right? And I hope you don't feel bad when I say that. Many dog owners who don't have a clear communication with their dogs, they tend to have a bad relationship, right? Not horrible, not bad, but what I mean by that is like a not a very healthy relationship with their dogs. So what it happens is the dog says, you know what, I don't get it. I don't understand what you're trying to say. The communication system is broken. Therefore, I'm not going to listen. So let's say, for example, you're asking your dog to sit, right? But you haven't taken the time to teach your beagle, for example, to sit. And then all of a sudden you're asking it to sit, and your beagle says, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're saying. So therefore your dog is not going to sit. So because now your dog is not sitting, you label your dog stubborn. Whereas if we backtrack the problem, it starts from the idea that the human hasn't taken the time to acknowledge this situation and work on the clear communication. That's all it is. You just don't have a clear communication with your dog, and your dog doesn't have a clear communication with you. So therefore, you can't have communication in general. So therefore, it um, creates that broken communication, and therefore, as a human, we always try to look for excuses, look for solution, look for reasons uh, that to blame. It's not always, it's never us, it's the dog, it's this, is that. We have to take responsibility and say, you know what, it's my responsibility, it's my job to have a clear communication with my dog. It's my responsibility to take care of this situation, and I'm going to clarify it and make sure that my beagle understands exactly what I'm saying. So the way you clarify the communication is by training. And today we're talking about, how to help your dog to become engaged and excited by activities that enriches your dog and also your life. And one of them is training. And today I'm going to be talking about it more. Monique, if that makes sense, let me know. If it doesn't, if you have follow up questions, let me know in the chat area as well. Thank you for the question. Let's go to Kim Jacobs. I would like to get my dogs a kid's wedding pool to play in, but would like to know if dogs can get sunburn. One of my dogs is white. If they have a fur coat, they tend to not to get sunburn. If they're the kind of dogs who are don't have fur, yes, definitely you want to apply sunscreen. But dogs, overall, I don't think they're going to sunburn. They have protection. Nature, God has created a system for them to have the ability to not to suffer from that issue. Um, Dogs with high risk of sunburn are Chinese crested dogs, pit bulls, short fur dogs, Dalmatians, boxers, Weimaraners, greyhounds, Um, if short hair or thin coat if they have. So yeah, definitely if your dog is one of those breeds, you may want to consider sunscreen. But if your dog is furry, like as a beagle owner, I'm not worried about my beagles sunburn issue because they are protected. Even short hair like beagles are protected, but shorter than beagle hair, I would say it's a bit risky. Yeah, great question. Thank you. Monique says, "Thank you, Sarah." Oh, you're welcome. I hope it makes sense to you, and I hope it didn't break your heart. I I feel bad when to tell people, that to answer this question. It's a very common question. I get it's a very common question. Yeah, that people say my dog is stubborn, and my answer is always that I feel bad to say that, but I think it's reality. Um, we have to face it and make sure that we are aware of it and address it. So let's continue with activities that you can do to keep your dog engaged and excited. So I was talking about dogs who are playful, and Monique brought this idea of what if my dog is stubborn and is difficult to play, right? Let's say your dog is not playful. In your mind, you're saying my dog is not playful. What do you do then? This answer may surprise you, but understand that when, let me just check. Um, by the way, are you guys able to vote on the poll or answer on the Q&A? This is my first time actually using this option that YouTube is providing. So I'm not sure if I'm doing anything wrong. So just let me know if you're able to answer the poll question or answer the Q&A answer. John is here. John is here. Hello, everybody. There we go. John says it's Rue's birthday tomorrow. Oh, happy ahead of. We're just gonna wish Rue birthday ahead of time. Hopefully, Rue is going to have a great birthday. I'm sure she's going to have a great birthday. Polls are fun, yes. And John says I voted. So yes, I think once you vote, you're not able to vote again. So once you vote, yeah, that's it. Um, And Kim says, yes, I answered the question. Let me see. Where does it show the answer? Where can I see the answer? Yeah, it's my first time I'm using this, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, but we'll figure it out. Okay, let's. Monique says no, it didn't. So it didn't. I got back. John says I got back from vacation. Some videos up on the stream of Shuttle Atlantis. And then Monique says I'm learning. Yeah, I'm learning too. So I'm not sure exactly how the vote and Q&A goes, but I can see them. I think once you use them, you can't use them anymore. Um, Maybe you're supposed to answer the questions in the chat area. Okay, so let's talk about dogs who are not. You're saying in your mind, my dog is not playful, or my dog is stubborn, or there's a reason that my dog is not playful. Let's talk about these dogs, okay? First of all, so for number one thing that I want you to do is play with your dog every day. it's really good to get out, or come up with a game plan that you can do with your dog every day. It's a good idea. And what if your dog is not playful? So number one advice that I have to dog owners is that the reason your dog probably is not playing with you because you are stubborn yourself. Let's get honest here, right? I'm just going to tell you as it is. Maybe you're too fixated on your everyday life, everything that's going on, fortunately or unfortunately, with your expenses, life, work, this, that, all life going on. We are so busy with our lives that we forget to be actually a human. A human, in my term, is that is good ideal human to play with a dog is a human who's about 6 to 8 years old. Do you remember that age? Do you remember that age when you were 6, 7 years, 8 years old? I remember mine. Yes, I was playing all day. When I was growing up, I was just in my mind. All I wanted to do was play. All I wanted to do was to go out and run around, chase kids, hide from kids. We would come up with games and we would play. There was a game that felt and looked like baseball. We used to play. I used to play soccer. We had a ball in the neighborhood that was so worn out because we played every day with it, and we would stay in the street every day, and we would play soccer with that. So I used to play every day, and I used to play all the time, and it was so much fun, right? So that whenever I'm engaging with my dog, I tap into that sensation. I tap into that age. I tap into those moments that I was kid and I was playing with my dogs. I was playing with my friends. Now my friend is a dog, right? And I'm playing with my friend, right? Literally, I put away all my thoughts, all my stress, all my things that I think about usually. I think about throughout the day. I have too many things to think about. Everybody does, right? Um, I think about creating videos. I think about how do I help this and that student that I have. I think about how do I, how do I make this? How do I fix this? There's something in the house that I have to go and fix it. There's something on the website I have to fix. There's an article that I need to write. All these thoughts, are in my head. But for the time being that I'm dedicating to go and play with my dog, I put all those thoughts away. I turn off my cell phone, like, it's away from me. I don't carry it with me. I don't take it everywhere with me. It's me and my dog playing just simple games that she likes. The joy that my dog has, um, is just reflects on me, and I it helps me to stay in that zone of 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 years old kid that I used to be, and I stay there as long as needed, right? I stay there and I play with my dog. When I approach my dog from that energy, um, what happens is very, very healthy. It becomes an energy that my dog says, wow. For example, my dad is really invested in this moment, and it's really enjoying because I don't bring anything into that engagement. I don't bring baggage, right? I have emptied the baggages, and I'm right there at that moment, and I'm trying to have a good time for my with my dog. So when I don't, I'm in that zone. My dog feels that energy, says, you know what, that's great. I'm with you, and it's very therapeutic. It's very healthy. It's very. I would say, what do you say when you are meditating? Very meditating when I'm in that zone, because it's very healthy for us, especially for busy dog owners, for busy people in life. It's very therapeutic. It's very soothing. It's very meditating when we get into that zone and we start playing with our dogs. And if you do that, that's step number one, to get your head in the right place. Once you get your head in the right place, what it does, it generates an energy that not only it's healthy, it's powerful. It brings a lot of positive energy. It spreads a positive energy to your dog, to the environment as well. So your dog automatically says, you know what, I'm trapped in this environment, this zone of happiness. I'm gonna get involved with it. So, number one is your energy, your state of mind, your mindset is to be playful without being committed to anything else. You want to be yourself, but yourself who was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Playful you. That's number one. Number two is finding out exactly what your dog loves to play. Now, why I say what is the game that your dog loves to play, why not the game that I like to play? The reason for that is because dogs, they don't ask much. They don't they don't need much, and they don't require much. All they ask is to provide them daily needs, right? Does anybody know a dog's 5 daily needs? What are they? Do you know them? If you don't know, don't worry. I'm going to share my presentation. I'm going to share it here. Dogs, they only ask 5 things. That's all they ask. And game is one of them. Playing game is one of them. So what you want to do is provide their daily 5 essential needs, which are exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. That's all they ask. They don't ask much. They need is a little bit of exercise, a little bit of training, a little bit of socialization, a little bit of care, a little bit of affection on a daily basis. If you provide them just these, they'll be happy. And play is one of these 5 things that they need. And game could be part of their exercise, could be part of their training, could be part of their socialization as well. Sometimes it could be part of their care as well. So what I want you to think of it as, they're not asking much, right? So let's give them what they need, right? And many of my students, for example, once they figure out this formula and we start working on the providing their dogs ideal form of an amount of exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. Basically, this takes them an hour to provide this a day, right? An hour and a half maximum to care for a dog. An hour a day, is it too much? I don't know. And you're not doing all this in at once. You're breaking it down in few sections, right? You're exercising them, training them, socializing them, feeding them, sharing affection. You break it down in few steps. You're not doing it all at the same time, right? So playing game is part of their exercise, let's say, or training. So I want to play and provide what they need. So I want to provide the game that the dog likes. So that's why I always say give find out what game your dog really likes and provide that game to your dog. So in my case, Annie likes fetch, and Harvey likes to be chased. So I provide those games for my dogs, right? So you just have to figure out what games your dog likes and provide that. John Cipolla says it is very therapeutic. Yes, there you go, therapeutic. To walk with Drew. I leave my cell phone in my pocket. I wouldn't. Pocket is okay. I know we have to carry it. She loves meeting other people and dogs around the neighborhood. I also talk to her. Great. That's perfect, right? Um, and Monique says it's for them. Yes, it is there for them. Monique says, how much playtime does my dog need on daily basis? Very good question. Very good question. So remember, I break down my dog's daily needs into five sections: exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. Right. So exercise, I would say not more than an hour, not less than half an hour. That's the number that I usually share with dog owners, because I think more than an hour it becomes overstimulating, over exercising a dog. Where, for example, let me give you an example. Um, where I live is a suburb of British Columbia, and there are lots of farms and farmers. Mini farmers and big farmers, and all kinds of farm animals, farm life overall, and most of them have dogs, right? So these dogs, from the moment they get up till they go to sleep at night, they're free in the farm. They walk around, protect the land, and help with the farmer if there's needed. So they get really stimulated all day long, right? That's the lifestyle of a farm dog. And most of the time, most farmers are um, choosing the right, correct dog for their farm activities and farm life. But I've seen some farmers who have selected a dog breed that is not ideal for this lifestyle. Um, but most dogs are ideal for lifestyle of a farm, for example. They can tolerate exercise a lot, right? And that's their lifestyle. But I don't feel and I don't like when a dog is over exercised, because what it does, it puts a lot of pressure on their body physically, and puts a lot of pressure on their uh, mind, you know, and also puts a lot of pressure on their behavior. Now, let me explain what I mean. So, if a dog is over exercised all day and physically is getting exercise, that's too much. That becomes overstimulated, physically, and can cause joint and muscle and bone issues, health issues, even heart problems, right? Too much of exercise is not really good, even for humans. You want to exercise in enough amount that you're not over exercising the heart and body and soul. Even though some dog trainers, including Cesar Milan, says you gotta exercise your dog like hell, right? I don't agree with that. You have to just consider to provide exercise every day, but in a way that it's not too much. It's not overstimulating the body. And the way it overstimulates the mind is that it keeps the dog busy all day long. If you're over exercising a dog, what it does, it doesn't allow the dog to rest. Dogs, animals, including humans, we need rest as well. As much as we need exercise, we need rest as well. Dogs are supposed to be resting and sleeping, 14, 16, 18 hours a day, right? They should be only active few hours a day. The rest of the day, they're either resting or napping or sleeping, right? So that's why when we are over exercising the body and over exercising the mind, what happens is it reflects all this pressure on their behavior. And most of the time, um, dogs who have behavioral issues, and one of the first things that I consider and I notice is that the dog owner is either over exercising the dog or under exercising the dog. So when there is not enough proper exercise, it causes a lot of behavioral issues. So over exercising and under exercising can cause behavioral issues. And also, again, under exercising can cause health issues, and also brain the mind is not stimulated enough. So you want to find out what is the ideal exercise for your dog, for your dog breed, for your individual dog. So for instance, for me, Harvey needs a 20 minutes, half an hour walk a day. That's good enough for him. She needs three 10 minutes runs every day. So that keeps her happy and satisfied, and that half an hour walk, sniffing walk, keeps him satisfied. So it all depends on your dog and how much they need, right? John says, I count my step with the cell phone. I'm on the phone all day. I don't like walking with those headphones on. Yes. I understand you have to have your phone, and that's life. But yeah, and you count your steps with your cell phone, which is great. Yeah, what I mean by that, by not having cell phone handy around, is not to have distractions. What you want to do is focus on whatever you're doing. Don't multitask. Multitasking is not good. We grew the way we grew up. Our generation, when we grew up, we um, were told that you got to multitask, you got to do this and that and that, but we have realized that multitasking is not healthy, because what happens is you're overstimulating your brain, as well as you're not doing a good job. So let's say if you're walking and you're working at the same time, you're not doing any of those to your best. You're not walking your best, and you're not working your best. So that's what I mean by that. Do I make sense? Happy Paws is asking, Sarah, would you consider doing a video on the dog training business, please? And thank you. Yes, you mentioned this last time. I will put that in my to-do list of videos, and I'll be sharing it soon on my channel. Monique says, how do I help my dog overcome his aversion to socializing with other dogs? So, what I think you mean is your dog, you said you have a stubborn beagle, right? Is that what you said? Let me just check. I believe you said you have a stubborn beagle. So, you have a beagle who's antisocial, it's a little bit aversive with other dogs. So that comes from um, many many reasons. One of the reasons, as I mentioned, is either too much exercise or too little exercise. So you're not providing enough exercise for your dog. And the other reason is maybe, and I'm saying maybe because, but I'm sure, I'm sure, I'm sure actually, I'm sure that you're not providing your beagle's daily five essential needs. You're not providing proper amount of exercise. You're not training your beagle. You're not socializing your beagle. So your beagle is lacking social skills with other dogs. You're not providing proper care, or you're providing a good care for your beagle and you're sharing too much affection. So most common reason why dogs are misbehaving, in your case you're saying is aversive to with other dogs, is because mainly you're focused on affection. You're sharing too much affection, where affection is the last thing a dog needs. Still part of the needs, but it's the last thing a beagle needs, a dog needs. And you're maybe focused on that. You're providing good care. The social skills of your dog is lacking. You're not doing enough training, or you're not doing training at all, and the exercise is either too much or too little or not enough. So that's the reason why he's aversive towards other dogs. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. John says, when it's very hot out, I don't walk her that much. I keep her to the grass. Yes. When it's hot, I would suggest to do short sessions of exercise and maybe few of those. That's my solution when it gets really hot or really cold. Instead of doing one big exercise session, try to do few sessions of exercise, but shorter ones. What is smoking in the background of the plant? Oh, and that is a diffuser. That is a diffuser. I'm using some oils, and it diffuses the water and moisturizes the air and cleans the air and um, provides nice, clean scent and smell in the environment. Um, So it's a diffuser. Yes, it's a mist of. It's a misty. Yeah, that thing, right? Yeah, that's a misty mister. I think diffuser. I don't think they call them mister. Yes, you need balance between exercise and rest. Thank you, Sarah. Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, uh, regarding the idea of daily five essential needs, rest is right here. Rest is care. So what you do, you exercise your dog, you train your dog, you socialize, and then you feed, you brush your dog, you let your dog to rest and share affection at the same time. So yeah, definitely it's part of the formula. Rue has plenty of space in the house to play fetch and run full speed ahead. There we go. There we go. That's fun. I'm out there for the dog. I love talking with her. Yes, that's good. That's good. I love watching my dog on walks. It's our time together. Yes. uh, yeah, I love walking my dogs too, and especially if it's a nice day. It's a nice. Um, I have nice feelings, right? And I'm going for a walk with my dog. It's a good feeling for both of us. So yeah. So as I was saying, number one thing that you can do, I suggest you to play with your dog every day. Put it in your schedule. Make sure that you figure out what your dog's favorite game is, and you play that game, and also you make sure that um, you are in the zone. You are in the zone. What I mean by you are in the zone is make sure that, as I explained earlier, make sure that you're in that kid zone, right? Your kid. The idea is that you are in a zone that is happy, pure, and in the moment, right? So what I usually do is I get into the zone, I play with my dog, and you know, if I have to, I one of the sessions that we are playing with my dog, as you can see in this video, for example, my dogs, they get to play together. They play with other dogs as well. We play fetch. We play whatever favorite game of our dog is, and some sort of stimulation, right? And meanwhile, what I do, I add some training in one of the sessions, one or two of the sessions that, remember, I was telling, for example, with Annie, I have to uh, exercise her 3 times a day for about 10 minutes. So, two of those sessions of 10 minutes is training. So, for example, in this case, I put the long leash and we're training outside, heel, lie down, stay calm, and heel. And meanwhile, I would play with her. I would play her favorite game. So this way, what happens is not only stimulating my dog, I'm training my dog at the same time, right? So, and as you can see, for example, we're playing fetch. I don't really have to put the long leash on my dog, but I'm just showing that you can do that too. You can, if you don't trust your dog 100%, you can put the leash, a long leash on your dog, and then train and practice with your dog outside if you can. Um, Therefore, it's much safer and much more secure when the dog is on a long leash. So one of those 10 minutes that I'm involved with my dog's play sessions, I one or two of them I train my dog, right? And what it does, it creates an environment and an engaging activity. For example, let's say even indoors, it creates that engagement for my dog to be physically and mentally stimulated and also be trained at the same time, which is much more beneficial rather than using treats and rather than not knowing what they are supposed to do. What I usually suggest to do is, you don't need anything. You just need your dog's favorite toy or the game that your dog likes, right? And you just include that in your daily activity, and you just use that to reward your dog. So the play becomes the reward, right? The play activity of what your dog really likes. So that's why I suggest you to find out what exactly your dog's favorite game is, and you include that game as reward for your dog. So in this an example in the video, I'm showing what I'm feeding my dog. But overall, what I want you to think of as play as reward as well, right? Uh, so, like, think of it. Let me see if I can find it. Think of it as your dog's. Instead of investing in treats and food that are not healthy for your dog, and it doesn't bring great results, right? Instead, focus on focus on using play as your dog's reward. So let me see if I can show you an example here.
Yes. Harvey, sit. Stay. Harvey, jump. There we go. That's what we want. Yes. Yes. So you can do this in a way that you're asking your dog to do something, and the reward for doing that, whatever you're asking, in this case, I'm asking my dog to sit. When I tell him to sit, the reward for sitting is to jump. We're not using treats. You don't have to use anything in a way. This is game, and the game itself is the reward. So we're asking our dog to sit, and the reward for sitting is to jump.
Do you understand that part? So the reward, instead of me giving treats to my dog, I'm playing that game. So in this case, for example, the game that we're playing with me and Harvey, we are playing is the agility game, right? So what happens is he's enjoying this activity. So this is his favorite game in this at this example, right? His favorite game is the agility game. So I use this time to train him. So the way I use this time to train him is I know this is his favorite game, so this is what I do.
The other option is you can ask your dog to sit, stay.
So there, I just told my dog to sit and stay. I'm practicing sit and stay.
And set up the toy over here and ask the dog to jump and come and get it. Harvey, jump, jump, get it. Yes.
In a way, I'm teaching him to come as well, right?
So that's the reward again. The toy or the game is the reward. It's so simple and it's so much fun that I can go, me and Harvey, we can do this for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we are both exhausted doing this game.
So that's the idea behind it. So I want you to understand that, first of all, the game itself becomes the reward. So you don't have to rely on treats or food or aversive tools or aversive method or force or domination or anything like that. All you have to do is just use the game that your dog really loves and reward it with that. And as you do that, you train your dog, you bond with your dog, you make your dog a better dog, you build a communication system, you are in a zen moment, zen time, and you're meditating and you're enjoying those moments and you're having fun and your dog is having fun. That's simple. Monique says it makes sense. He loves people interaction more sorrow. So that's a good point that you bring. If your dog likes people interaction, that becomes reward. So if you can say to your dog, if you sit, then I will allow you to interact with people. Your reward will be to interact with people. So if a person wants to come and say hi to your dog, it can't say hi until the dog does something. So the dog can interact with human, or the human can interact with the dog until the dog does a task, accomplishes a task, sit and stay, for example, right? And uh, what it happens is, in from your dog's point of view, says, you know what, I want to interact with that human, but I can't until I listen to this human and obey this human and do this, what he's asking, and then I'll get the reward, which is interacting with the human. John says, Rue enjoyed being with mom for the week. I was in Kennedy Space Center. Nice, good. Rue is barking at the dogs in the back. Monique says, I understand. Very good. My dog loves playing fetch games. So yeah, use the fetch game and include some training in there. Play it every day, which is very good, and enjoy and have fun. And meanwhile, add some training in there. Most pet owners are respectful and wait until I say it's okay to greet. Yes. Yeah, I mean, to allow dog to greet people or greet dogs and things like that, it's an opportunity for you to use that to train a dog. Don't miss opportunities like that when it comes to training. So overall, what I want you to focus on is to include play and training in your daily life. So you're going to keep your dog not only engaged and excited, and you're going to enrich its life, and you're doing an activity that both you and your dog love and enjoy, and you're going to benefit from that. It doesn't get simpler than that. Doesn't it? I don't have to bring you a list of things to do to keep your dog engaged. Play and praise and reward your dog for training basics to your dog. Simple. You do that every day, you'll get a great dog at the end of the month. Did you enjoy this session? Is there any other questions that you like to ask? I hope you enjoyed this live session. I enjoyed it. I always love to talk about dogs and help you and allow you to become an educated dog lover. If you want to work with me, and if you have a dog who's challenging and is challenging you and you need help, I'm available to help. All you have to do, there's a link below in the description of this video that you can click on and set up a free consultation session with me that we're going to do, that whenever it's ideal day and time for you. There's a calendar. All you have to do is set up that day and time, and we'll chat, and we'll have fun, and we'll talk about your dog and your life and what I can offer, and we'll go from there. I enjoyed my sessions too. John, thank you for enjoying the session. Everybody, thank you for being here. John, Monique, there was somebody else. Happy Paws was here too. Yes. These are the ones who I know they were in the chat. I hope you enjoyed the session today, and I will see you next time. And until next time, have fun with your dog. Okay? Don't forget, have fun with your dog.